Hello everyone, this is the recording for IS391Unit5. The reading this week is chapters 8 and 9. The discussion is due Wednesday, the initial post. Discuss the similarities and differences between client-side and server-side scripts. You may also provide examples of each type of script and describe how it works. Do not forget your APA reference and in-text citation. 3 replies are due by Sunday, and don't forget you need at least one open-ended question in one of your replies. The Unit 5 assignment is due Sunday at 11:59 p.m. The U5A1 is you're to complete 8.5 on pages 492 to 493 of the textbook. Now, the textbook uses MySQL Connect and MySQL Create DB. But if you're using PHP 7 or above, you need to use MySQL iConnect and Create Database, and then this would be the name of your database. So this is basically the Create Database. This is the connecting to MySQL. And so in here you would have what I've done is I've assigned my server, since we use localhost, and the username. This is the default root with no password. Now, if you changed and gave yourself a new username and password, you would put those here, and then these are the variables that I've set up, and that will do the connection. If the connection fails, then it'll say that it failed, and that will terminate everything. If you get connected, then you would create your database, and that's what this code is, using the code for PHP 7. And then once you connect and create the database, then it would tell you the database is created successfully. And then before you end the script, you want to close the connection. Now, in this assignment, you also need to create a table. So what you can do is, instead, if the connection is false, then you enter error creating the database. Oh, if the database can. So over here, let's go back. We can go to previous. Excuse me. So here where we have if it's true, instead reverse that and put if it's false first. And then if it's false, then that's the end, the connection or the connection error. If it's true, then you get your else statement. And then it's saying that we've created the database, and then we selected the database. So the database is created, so that was true, and then we have the connection. So this is the database name. I'm connected to the database, and this is the code you need for PHP 7. Then you would, after you've selected the database, then you would create the table. And this is just an example of my guests. It's the name of the table, and these are the fields. This, of course, would not work with this assignment, but it's only an example. And then if the connection is true and you were able to get to create the table, then you would echo that you created it successfully. And if you didn't, then there would be an error creating the table. I just wanted you to know that you need to use that code, because if you use what's in the book, then you'll probably get errors. And that's the reason, unless you want to go to an older version of PHP. That's up to you. Next, you'll create a script to show the form and accept the user input of the airline survey. Also, you need to create a script to show the surveys. And the table and the creation of the database I found on these websites. So the next part of the assignment is U5A2. You're to complete exercise 9.4 on page 547 of the textbook. You can use PHP's rand function to generate a random integer, and that's found in chapter 2 starting on page 85. The rand function accepts two arguments that specify the minimum and maximum integer to generate respectively. For example, the statement rand equals rand 1020 generates a random number integer between 10 and 20 and assigns the number to the random variable. So that's basically what you're going to do. Then you're going to create a guessing game that uses user's session to store a random number between 0 and 100 along with the number of the guesses the user has attempted. Each time the user guesses wrong, they display the number of times the user has guessed. Include a link that displays the generated number for the current game. Also include a start over link that deletes the user session and uses the header location URL function to navigate to the main page. And this is an example. If your name of your main page was guessing game play, PHP, then this is the header function that you would need. Then you're going to create 3 scripts, one to play, one to start over, and one when the person gives up. All of these use the session start, which begins on page 533. For each assignment, create a single zip archive that contains all the files needed to run the assignment. The database commands need to be placed in the correct sequential order that properly executes the assignment. Include your full name, date, and class number as a comment or annotation on each file, and then include remarks on how to run the assignment. The quiz is due Sunday at 11:59 p.m. There's 20 questions and it may only be taken once. What is each column in a database called? Page 381. What relationship allows you to make the information in one of the tables confidential and accessible only by certain individuals? Page 383. What relationship exists in a relational database when many records in one table are related to many records in another table? Page 386. A junction table contains what type of keys? Page 387. In PHP, what function do you use to send SQL statements to MySQL? Page 459. What function is called the workhorse of PHP with MySQL? Page 459. What is a result pointer? Page 459. Know the functions on page 474, table 8.2. What functions terminate script execution? Page 482. What function returns the error code from the last database connection attempt, or 0 if no error occurred? Page 482. What clause creates a field that must contain data? Page 483. What statement so you can use with MySQL query function to delete a table? All right, so the statement you use with MySQL query function to delete a table, 483. I didn't write that right, I'm not sure. Look at 483 and you should be able to figure it out. What statement can you use with a local file to add multiple records to a database? Page 483. What function returns the number of rows in a query result? Page 483. What is the error control operator that suppresses error messages? Page 568. Auto increment creates an auto incrementing field. That's all I have for this week. If you have any questions, please let me know.